Assalamu alaikum. Sulaiman Rahim here. Messenger of the Covenant, breaker of the seven seals. Brothers and sisters, let me get a couple things here. What's going on here? There you go. America's in judgment. It's going to be clear to you in a few days. Crystal clear. The only problem, we have is with you. How many of you are going to be lost because of lack of knowledge? Didn't say you was lost because you were sinful, as Farrakhan is saying, lack of knowledge. Why would you have lack of knowledge? Either because no one's giving you knowledge, or they're blocking the knowledge, because knowledge would have to be available. Otherwise, it's a whole different dynamic altogether. See, because you'd be lost because there was no knowledge. But it said, no, you lost because of lack of knowledge. And knowledge would be available. Because it said this gospel would preach in all the world. So that means knowledge would be available. So why don't you have it? See, you have enemies every place. But your main enemy is lack of knowledge. That's what it's telling you. Your primary enemy is lack of knowledge. They depend on you to be ignorant. Everyone is depending on you to be ignorant. That's what deception is all about. Deception is to keep you ignorant. That's by definition. Deceive you as to the facts. Falsehood, lies. So who is giving these lies? Who's giving this falsehood? See, Master from Muhammad brought light to America. He lit a lamp. Who was Elijah? Elijah was that lamp in America for 40-some years. Devils and demons don't like lamps, don't like lights, because it exposes them. It exposes them. Elijah Muhammad had a light. It wasn't the brightest light, but he had a light. It was a bright light, not the brightest. Because he said when Suleiman came, his light would be brighter than 7 suns. But he had a light. In his absence, they had to put out that light. They had to put out that light. And any one of you trying to tell me that Farrakhan's killing that light is a goddamn lie. I'm not going to soft code it. I'm not going to play with it. I'm going to play around with it. You're a goddamn lie. Because all you got to do is read what Elijah Muhammad wrote, read those lessons, and tell me, unless you're a total idiot or you dyslexic, right, that he's saying the same thing Elijah Muhammad was saying. He's in sync with him. He's consistent with him. No, you're a goddamn liar because you're a liar. You're a demon, a viper, or just an outright agent. But the light that's being lit now is going to burn your ass up. See, because light of the sun, a light bulb, that just gives you some light to see. The light of the sun burns your ass up. And that's what's about to happen to you. You're feeling the flames already. You're already feeling the heat. Who the Lord will consume with the spirit of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming. That bright light is going to destroy your ass, and that's only days away. Literally days away. They're talking about, oh, well, something's going to happen. Why don't you say what's going to happen? Oh, you're going to see in a few more days. That's what he said last Sunday, right? So why don't you say what's going to happen? Because you don't know. And that was a veiled threat that you're going to try to get rid of me. Go ahead, try. Go for it. If you can do it like Moses told him, go for it. Strike me hard as you can. Go for it. If you want to bring Master Muhammad forward a little earlier than he intends to be, go for it. Because I'm protected. Totally protected. Some things I just can't tell you, brothers and sisters. I would love to. But I was looking at this Deuteronomy 28. You need to look at that. I put a whole presentation. It took me, all day to put that thing together. Right? Every verse. And if you read that carefully, see, this is the bullshit. Now see, the preachers, when they had out in the fields, raping us, sodomizing us, and everything else, they did that. I mean, these freaks, they're coming out, the so-called out, they coming out now. There's freaks back then. And some of these freaks, they went and got slaves so they could bang on them. Telling men, only thing that didn't happen. They're all freaks. They're all freaks. I mean, I can tell you a lot of things. That's why they want to see, they're trying to snuff this out with this CRT, critical race theory. Trying to snuff it out because they know if you lift that lid up, after a while, all the stuff gonna come out. And they don't want that because they around the world pointing their finger at everybody. You. And all the shit that y'all done, you done stepped on everybody on the planet. You made everybody on the planet kiss your ass. And other things worse than that. You force rules to eat shit. Ask Mandela. They had him eating shit up in South Africa when they had him in prison. You're done, and then you say, well, we're the greatest. Yeah, you're the greatest threat, the greatest evil ever. But you can say all you want to see all those days over. Because you read one reading, I'm just going to say a couple of things here. I'm not going to go through the whole Deuteronomy thing. But see, they was using that. Because if you read all the things that would happen to you, if you didn't obey God, and all these terrible things happen to you, right? And you wish in the morning, you wish it was evening, and evening wish in the morning, and you go insane because things happen to you, and your women be ravaged, and your children be eating all this stuff, and you be eating your son. So they said, that was their excuse for doing it to us. They said, that's God punishing you. Think about this for a minute now. That's God punishing you. So we ain't doing anything wrong because we're the instrument of God's punishment. We're the purveyors of God's punishment. See, we're the personification of God's punishment. Because show those things that would happen to you in Deuteronomy 28. All those evil things. That's God punishing you. But did you ask the question? Who was he supposed to be punishing? Who was the object of this punishment in Deuteronomy? The children, not the children, Israel. So if that's what is true, they said, we're Israel. Case closed. See, you don't read this stuff. They count you to be ignorant and stupid. Because they use that all during so-called slavery, the Holocaust, to justify what they was doing to us, because it was God's will, because we didn't obey God, we didn't obey it, and everything. It was going against the law and everything else. But that was Israel. So if that was the object of that, that means we're Israel. But they said, no, we ain't Israel. So you see, we Ham. But no, whole Deuteronomy, that's the Israel. That's the punishment they would get according to them. See, because they're saying, right? That's Israel punishing there, being punished. See, he's talking about both sides of their mouth. Because it says God's punishing Israel. See? They take Israel out, just like that part out. Just like Farrakhan leaves the part out about we're going back home. Leave that part out. Right there. Big letters. It's not small print. It's not small print. Big letters. After 400 years, you're going home. Heard the promise. But some miraculously, I know you wear glasses. So maybe the bottom part of the glass is blind and the top part is, so you can only see the top side of it. Is that what it is? Because you're a total asshole. That's what he is. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. See? He's shit. He was covered himself in honey. Elijah Muhammad's teachings. Elijah Muhammad's clothing. Because he's not, let me take the teachings out. He's not teaching Elijah Muhammad's teaching. There's no way. He's not teaching anything like it. He tell you about the books and stuff. That's not what he's teaching. This mystery guards everybody's womb. We ain't going nowhere. He gonna save all humanity. Devils ain't devils anymore. He take the heart out of, it's like taking the sugar out of the cake and say, hey man, look at this great cake here. But he took all the sugar out of it. Just like music. See? They put an evil message inside the music. You pump into the music, but you get the lyrics. It's like covering shit with honey. Oh, look at that bowl of honey. So, man, you eat a bowl of honey, sooner or later you're going to start tasting the shit. And that's what's about to happen right now. Because those people in NOI that's not demons and not vipers, they're going to start tasting the shit. They start tasting shit now. Because they've been eating that honey for 40 some years, and now they get into the shit. See? Because I'm exposing the shit. That's why they're trying to get rid of me. Veiled threat. Oh, something going to happen. That means they got plans to get rid of me in the next few days. I know they're working on it. I know a lot more than they think I know. See? He need to be worried about who's around him. Farrakhan need to be worried about who's around him. He need to worry about, he better read Mark again. He better read it all over again. He better worry about who's around him. Worry about coming after me. Worry about who's around him. So I just want you to understand, brothers and sisters. They depend on you being ignorant. Depend on you being ignorant, not reading, not checking. Because if you wake up, they're through. That's the only thing that's holding anything up, is your ignorance. See, Master Muhammad, he has his own timetable. And I already been around the circle with him one time on his Levites, back in 2015 around that area. Because he wants to help them. He wants to save them, and I don't. I don't. He do. But that's his baby. So there was a conflict there. So I conceded. So the only conflict I have, you read the story of Jonah. Jonah didn't want to warn them about anything. And they got to be warned one more time before they go into tribulation. Whoa. And that's something I'm excited about doing. But at any rate, Master Muhammad's on time. He's not delayed. Right? He's not delayed. Don't think he's delayed. Read the scripture. He's not delayed. We think it's delayed because we want this to happen quickly. Okay? But it has to be just. And I'm not going to talk about mathematics like Bro says. I'm not going to do that today. I'm not sure anybody's picking up on the mathematics I'm talking about already. Okay. The mathematics is what will turn you to gods. Without it, you're nothing. You're not going to be able to survive in the hereafter. Without it, you're not. I try to make it simple as possible. It was like out in the wild, right? The strongest animals are the predators, and the weakest ones are the prey. And if your mind is weak, you're going to be crushed. It's just simple as that. It's not going to be, oh man, she's cute, don't mess with her. That's that devil way. That's this life. And it doesn't work too well over here either. I don't know how to explain it to you. I'm not explaining to you. Is it only strong survive? See, the devils take that to the wrong direction. Because they think they're the strongest and they think they take everybody's stuff. No, we're not taking anybody's stuff. And on that note, everything they have in the last 5 years, they took from other people. Think about that. Everything they have, the Europeans have, they took from other people. They destroyed Europe. They turned into a shithole. Nothing would grow, right? It was totally, it was a shithole. Tyranny, injustice, everything. The whole, right? They was totally animals, even amongst themselves. Okay, so and then they came out looking for everybody's stuff. They took everything they have. So what's the justice of that? That means they got to give it all back. They got to give it all back. How can they give it back? What if you ate somebody's steak? How you gonna get a steak back to them? So since all they have, they're gonna be cut off from it. If you read Deuteronomy 28, they can be cut off from this land. So another thing in Deuteronomy 28, it says, the land you take possession of, he's going to destroy you, take it. And see, in 28, remember, they was punished to destruction. So if that was false Israel in the past, they shouldn't be around anymore. Because that whole idea was destroy them, destruction. They was going to be totally eradicated. But they're still around, so that didn't apply to them. See? It's applying to America. They took possession of this land. And so if they obeyed the laws and stuff, that's what the cross says, they'll be blessed. They was told, leave us alone. They didn't. The hard cost. They got to pay for that. So if you've been stealing, eating other people's food, now you have no food. Now you have no food. If you read 28, I mean, that's just one of those chapters. I said, let me bring one of these chapters up, because you bring up Jeremiah and Isaiah and Ezekiel, and it's horrific. These people, what they're going to say, they're going to drive them insane. They said they're going to be going insane because of what they're going to be seeing. They said it's going to drive them insane. Eating their own children. They're crying now. As Jesus said, if men cry when the bow is wet, what will they do when the bow is dry? If they're crying now when they supposedly have everything, what are they going to do when they have nothing and persecuted? They said it'd be so bad, their situation would be so bad, and they'll beg people to be their slaves, and nobody want them. Think about it. We didn't beg anybody for us to be their slaves. And nobody turns down. So that sure is not talking about us. Read the whole thing. They said, beg people, would you please let me be your slave? Because being a slave is better than the situation they're already in. You see? Think about that. Your situation is so bad, you're begging people, please make me a slave. That's talking about them. It's from America. They took possession of this land. And look at them right now. They're so far away from the Bible. They was far from it all the time. They're so far away from now. It was like the difference between East and West. They couldn't get back to it now if they wanted to. Plus those stupid systems they got, democracy. What you thought the end result that was going to be? What you thought the end result of democracy was going to be? If you take and give your body control over your mind, what you think the end result going to be? If you don't have any discipline over your body, you lose discipline over your body, let your body does whatever it wants to do, eat, drink, whatever it wants to do, what you think the end result is going to be? What you see in America, total sensuality, no control, no self-control, discipline, just let it all hang out. No restraint. As you see, no restraint. Insanity, because you're not thinking. If you're thinking, you cannot do that. You cannot do that if you was a thinking person, because once you're that, you lose your power of thought because you're going on emotions. Your emotions was driving you. Your emotions is what is driving you. And that's what happened in America. That's why it makes no sense to anybody. What? You're teaching kids drag queens, and that makes total sense to them because they're not in the mind zone. They're in the heart zone. They're in the emotional zone. And that makes them feel good. When you're emotional zone, your logic is based on feelings. What makes you feel good, what makes you feel bad. What makes you feel good is the right thing. What makes you feel bad is the wrong thing. That's the logic of emotion. And so that's where they are right now. That's why things they're doing makes no sense to people that still have logic, that have them in the mind zone. But people in the heart zone, that makes total sense to them. But they'll disagree. Only thing they disagree on is what makes you feel good, what makes you feel bad. And that changes. Emotions are like the weather, right? It can be sunny one minute and stormy the next minute. That's what you see. No discipline. But they count on you to be ignorant. And once they see the game is up and they start to see that, you think they're going to... Man, jealousy is one of the most powerful aspects of the heart zone. Jealousy. Because they see they're going down to hell, or they're in hell. Because remember, emotion is about what makes you feel good, what makes you feel bad. But what if there's nothing that makes you feel good anymore? But you're still in the heart zone. It doesn't register your brain that you need to start changing your ways because you done lost your power. Your brain's totally in submission now. So now you'll be desperate to do something to make you feel good. Anything to make you feel good. So if there's no food, you eat anything. Just like if you have sexual desire and you have sexual desire, you have it anybody. If you have no good discipline of yourself, anybody, you want to relieve that desire. So they have orgies and all that kind of stuff. Bisexualism and all that kind of stuff. Don't care. Don't care if it's male or female, whatever. Females on females, males on males. I don't care. Just relieve it, man. Because I want to feel good. I don't care how. Give me some drugs. Give me some cocaine. Give me some crack. But what if those things aren't available? Then you're desperate to feel good. What if there's no food? Right? See? But your next door neighbor's edible. Where do you think the cannibalism come from? You think because a guy said, "Oh, I think I just want to see what an arm tastes like." That's what it's all about. They're the greatest cannibals. They won't tell you that. They put that on us. Scripture tell you that's what they're going to be. And I'm telling you, I'm warning you, I'm telling you. We ain't talking about years anymore. I'm actually surprised it has already occurred. I know we're in it. I'm just why this pot takes so long to boil. Because the pot's hot. It's hot. Anybody looking around the world, it's hot. It's getting hotter over hotter in Ukraine by the second. By the second. And if you, like I said, if you do the logic of it, and if you know how the event's going to take place, I talk about this squeeze theory, then you see how hot it's getting in Ukraine, but you know the war in the Middle East is going to happen first. But see, it's about to bust in Ukraine in a minute. You know, the war in the Middle East got to happen real quick, because if it's going to be like the scripture says, then you know it's going to happen real fast, because anybody can see there's going to be a total war in Ukraine in a couple more days. But that's a squeeze theory. You got, that's one way of looking at it. I know it's going to happen. I just say, I'm looking at it and say, man, is anybody ready for what's about to hit here? I know the devil ain't ready, because it's going to come to him as a thief in the night when you don't expect it. Only people expecting to happen any day now is people listening to me. Because listen to Farrakhan, well, that may be in some distant future. Like he's talking about this 6th state, right? We're going to inherit America. Okay. See how dumb this shit is? Okay, well, you want to gain. When's that going to happen, Farrakhan? Because you got 3 feet in the grave. 3 feet in the grave. So you're not going to make it happen. You're not going to be around. Because when's it going to happen? 10 years from now, 100 years from now, 1,000 years from now? When are you going to have, see? But you still listen to that fool. But you're going to get you across the river. How you going to do that? You going to turn him into a boat? He can't even walk. He going to carry you on his. It's so stupid. And the man's the devil. His father's the devil. Like I said, if you deceived, then you deserve to be deceived now, because anybody that's got their eyes are halfway open can see what's going on, because it's so clear nowadays. Farrakhan is not representing Elijah Muhammad. He's a bowl of shit covered with honey. And believe me, those of you with him, I ain't talking about the demons, they got worse. You're going to taste the shit in a minute. You're not going to like it. See? And when look over here to my, where'd you get that shit out of my mouth? I ain't getting that out of your mouth. You deserve every bit you get. Because shit been over there. See? He was clear from the he was very clear from the beginning. He's lying about everything about how he was with Wallace until Wallace immediately turned, I was there, not hearsay. I was in Chicago between 1970 and 1975 when Elijah Muhammad parted. I didn't leave Chicago in 1983. I was there. I wasn't just an FOI. I was a foreman in Muhammad Speak newspaper, nice shit foreman. Class A brother, security. Okay. My wife at the time, she ran an MG dress shop. And she actually met the messenger because that was his personal dress shop. So don't tell me, don't give me that bullshit. Everybody knew what Wallace would do. That's one thing about Wallace, right? He told what he was going to do. The messenger kept throwing his ass out. If you go back and look at old Chicago Defenders papers from like 60 to 75, he was put articles there telling his father was a liar and calling his father all kinds of names and stuff. And then when he got broke and everything, then he come back, oh, I believe in this to get back, and then start teaching that stuff again, and Elijah must throw him out. They knew exactly what he was going to do. He made no bones about it. He did not hide it. And he knew exactly what he was going to do. So Farrakhan was a damn liar. And anyway, he didn't want the bloodshed. You were supposed everything was left in your care. So there's bloodshed, and so be it. Let's kick ass. Let's shed some blood. Oh, he didn't want no blood. He didn't want his blood shed. He's a coward. He's a certified coward. See? Certified. Shit covered in honey. He follows the devil. What else can you say about him? He's a hypocrite. He's lying. Nothing he says is consistent with Elijah Muhammad teaches. Nothing. Now, all you debaters out there, you want to debate me? Come on, let's debate. I put $1,000 down, and if you can prove what I'm saying is a lie, I give it to you. And you put the same thing down, because I can prove every damn thing you say is a lie. Out of Elijah Muhammad's own mouth. So let's go call him a liar. Out of Master Muhammad's own teachings, let's go call him a liar. Farrakhan no better than them. Come on, he's protected. You protected? And these so-called satanic Jews come out, they fired some pellets your ass and blew your ass up, and you got protection? Blew your ass up. They did a job on your dumb ass, didn't they? See? And you were serving them. I guess you weren't serving them enough. You know? I could say some things, but I ain't gonna say it. They blew your ass up, didn't they? Right? That's just one of your punishments. Oh yeah, I said it. Because I said that's what Suleiman's first war would be against you. Please stop tormenting me. Please stop tormenting me. He's a coward. He started crying right away. What's in Exodus? When Elijah returned, oh, it wasn't me. It was them. It was their fault. He's a damn stinking ass coward. Period. Now you got the sister. 2, 3, 4. What they gonna do? They gonna protect you? Then you got lioness Ishmael. Oh man, they're gonna crucify. They're gonna crucify Farragon. They're gonna crucify him. You over steroid testosterone junkies, right? Godzilla, the Hulk, and they gonna walk right past you and get your Messiah and crucify him? Is that what you're saying, dumbass? They're the biggest fools on the planet over there. They're stupid liars. Now, Ishmael ain't no demon. He's worse. He's spitting all over his father. And his father's going to see his ass crucified. He's going to see his ass crucified. Personally. Have him ride the unicorn. No, you don't know what that is, but you're going to find out. Yeah, I should be taking a break. Everybody keeps telling me I ain't taking no breaks, brothers and sisters. 30-some years on the post. Oh yeah, I'm worn out. I'm tired. I can tell you that. There ain't no doubt about that one. Okay. And I ain't taking a penny from anybody. Why are we going to charge you for truth? He said, well, no, Elijah did not charge you for truth. And he wasn't out there begging for money like Farrakhan does. Please send us money, please send us money. He was creating jobs for you. When he left here, all the money was in the Nation Islam name, not yours. Not his, rather. That's why they had a big fight about that, and all still together. So, brother and sisters, I just had a little small talk. I'm keeping my presentation, trying to keep it small lately, because I really do need to get some rest. But I can't rest, brothers and sisters, because we're at war. And at war, rest is death. You rest when they cut your throat, then you rest for eternity. You keep fighting until the last one standing. And that's what I'm doing. Because if I rest, everybody get oh man, see, he's resting. See, we got these pushmobiles. They sad. They don't see it. They think somebody's going to push them into the hereafter. No, they're going to be sitting right here when they burn this place up, waiting for somebody to push them out of here. I already told everybody what it takes to get out of here. Greater pressure overcomes lesser pressure. If you don't overcome the pressure of this side, you can't escape it. You can't escape it. So you be crushed with it. If your mind, right, if your mind is not greater than the minds as well, and you're going to be crushed with it. They've been crushed because they have less pressure. That's why it does being crushed, because they have less pressure. That's why it's being crushed. If they got discipline and increase their pressure, that could delay their destruction. That's why I said if you repent, you understand these things. If they repented and went back to discipline, that would delay their destruction because they had enough pressure to keep from being crushed. It's not that matter if I'm just waving wine happens. He's putting pressure on them in the atmosphere. I'm putting pressure in the atmosphere. If I take a rest, that means I'm easing up on them. I ain't easing up on them at all. I'm not easing up, right? Because every time I go out, make a prayer attack, I'm putting more pressure on them. Because that truth is greater pressure destroys lesser truth. See, you think truth is always a lie. It's a lie when it's out of season. It's a lie when it's out of season. Somebody telling you, oh, well, you need to wear this kind of stuff in the spring stuff in the wintertime. Well, it makes sense in the springtime, but in the winter, that's a lie, man. That stuff will kill you if you out there wearing loose silk, loose shirt. You got to understand what these things are, brothers and sisters. The devils, during their time, that wasn't lies. Except they went overboard. When they went, that's unjust. They became unjust because they went more than they're supposed to. That's what they're paying for the consequence of that. But enslaving us and everything, that wasn't a lie because that was a condition of time. I'm not going to keep talking about that, brother. I don't think anybody understands any of this because they got the wrong idea about how things work. And so if it makes it hereafter, they probably won't survive there anyway. They think, oh man, everybody just probably be nice to you. Hey brother, no, don't work like that. Don't work like that. Your whole mind, like you got to upload your mind. You're gonna see things totally different. Your sisters too. I tell her sisters, no, you want to be respected. You're gonna have to get your mind up. That's how you get the respect. The more stronger, more powerful your mind is, the more respect you want to get. It's not because, oh, that person is supposed to give you respect. The more respect you want to get, the more powerful your mind is. Because that's what it is. Greater pressure, lesser pressure, respects greater pressure. I try to put in the simplest terms. They try to make you think, oh, well, if you're wealthy or you're nice, you're pretty, whatever. No. You see somebody like, look at somebody as dumb as that damn Kanye West. He's a multi-billionaire. And he got multi-billionaire because of being smart. You listen to him, he ain't got it because he was smart. Okay? He falls in that category of those who he's getting the result of the demon reward for them going through the Holocaust. Because they weren't supposed to go through it. They went through it because they was black, so now they're getting reward now. And so that's what Quran says. It will hasten it to them, but there's no push for them in the hereafter. I try to make stuff as simple as possible. So they got to get all theirs. He's getting a lot. But what happens when the economy crashes? And what's coming? All that would be worth nothing. That's why they're going to throw it in the streets because they can't eat it. And throw it in the streets. Billions of dollars. Open all of them, going to throw that money in the street because then they don't have any power anymore. Nobody's going to respect them anymore. See? Nothing. Because they built their whole house, but they had no choice because they weren't going to hereafter. So they're getting all their reward now because injustice done to them. And you got a great reward coming. If you want it, nobody force you to take your reward. And that's the thing. They're going to let you trick them. You're going to let them trick you out of it. That's up to you, brothers and sisters. That's the biggest. That's the game plan right now. And the demons are in the forefront of it to get you to sell your inheritance. You be the real story, Jacob and Esau. What better? Getting you to forsake your inheritance for some 6 states, no topsoil, still under control of massa. When you're already seeing what these devils do when they make agreements. As the so-called Native Americans, they had agreements with them. They had reparations with them. Where they're drunk out somewhere on some reservation somewhere, hungry and starving, while people dance all over their land. And now, but they're gonna make a better agreement with you, and you're gonna keep it. Who's selling you that crap? Farrakhan. Because he's a chief demon, follows the devil. We ain't going nowhere. That's not what Elijah Muhammad said. I know when Elijah Muhammad was here, and therefore I made had a big old poster on the wall, and a big ship on the dock, and Elijah Muhammad was on, the captain of the ship. He had the stern, the back part, watching, and all the believers in the ship. He was at the, I don't know what they call it. I'm not a ship person, right? But ship's facing that way. He's at the back, looking. He's at in the back looking over, and on the shore was white folks with sticks beating Negroes, the ones that want to stay behind. The demons and the Negroes, they were beating their ass on the shore, and we were sailing off. That's not, we're not going nowhere. That's not, we're not going nowhere. They're not going anywhere. Because if you go, the leeches don't want you to go, because if you go, they stop. If you go, how's Farrakhan going to make his living? He's not going anywhere. How is he going to stay rich? How is he going to live in this nice palace and carry on if you go? How is he going to do that? How is America going to stay strong and powerful if you go? Because you understand what's going on here. They said that's why they didn't want to leave. Pharaoh didn't want you to leave, because it said, if you read it carefully, it says, we took the gold and silver. That meant left Egypt plundered. Because we the gold and silver. That means the whole economy just totally collapses. European economy is about to collapse. Let me say something, let it go, brothers and sisters. You better read Deuteronomy 28 and read it carefully. Well, that's up to you. I ain't say better do anything. I ain't about telling anybody they better do anything. I tell you one thing, you better not mess with me. I tell you that better on that one. But go have at it. You already tried a couple times already. It didn't work out too well, did it? Anyway, men's hearts will be failing for fear of those things coming upon earth, because the powers of heaven will be shaken. The reason I'm saying this, because you're going to witness this in a few more days. It's coming suddenly. See? Right now, you got a little pause of things because they got this election coming. They're trying to paint a scenario. They don't want America's. They want to look like the Democrats keep the world under control. They don't want no wars or anything right now. See, because they got an election coming up in a few more days. I don't think it's going to wait that long. But anyway, men's hearts failing for fear of those things come upon earth, because the powers of heaven be shaken. Now, if you understand Israel, you don't know what is heaven's Middle East. Who has the power there? America, Britain, and false Israel. Earth represents European countries, specifically America in this situation. Why are you saying that? Because when false Israel go down, that's the abomination of desolation. They got all kinds of watch this little thing. This guy trying to explain. They don't know what the hell. I laugh at them trying to explain stuff. They have no idea what it means. But they're going down. They're going to be lay siege to it. They're going to lay siege to false Israel. American Britain's going to be kicked out. Read chapter 12. The dragon is going to lose his angels. That's House of Sod. And America, Britain, and false Israel. Right? They're going to lose that war. War's about to break out. How long the war's going to last? Can't last that long. I can give a solid reason why, but I'm not going to go into it. The war's not going to last that long, but it's going to last. And they kicked out. And false Israel going to be abandoned and betrayed. Betrayed big time. See? And they're going to lay siege to it. And this is what it means, because when they lay siege to no food going in or out. And when they talk about fathers eating the sons and sons eating fathers, that's what happened here. It says it's going to be, and read it, right? It says they're going to do it exposed before the nations. It means all the nations going to watch this on TV. Have drones flying over and everything, showing on TV. Because they ain't going to be able to shoot now. They're going to have nothing. Be on the siege and not be able to break out. Their nuclear weapons will not be usable. And they're outnumbered like 100 to 1 over there. Anyway, they're going to be see, and those Palestinians, they don't never forget anything. 73 years of total abuse by them in their own land. Don't forget anything. But then we're going to be under siege for a period of time. And you have cannibalism off the scale like you've never seen before. That said you're going to see something like you've never seen before. And that's just a preview. That's a preview of what's about to happen in America. You're going to get a preview. That's why it says men's hearts will be filled with fear of those things coming upon the earth, because the powers of heaven be shaken. That means the powers who had the power in the Middle East, America, Britain, and false, their powers be broken, shaken. Powers of heaven be shaken. Right? See? They'll lose power. How? Because now Iran, the Shia, has control. So men's hearts will be filled with fear of those things coming upon the earth, because the powers of heaven. You know what's called? What they see there? They don't see false Israel. See, and that's another one of God's punishments. He don't give you a preview. See, sometimes, and somebody just sneak up behind and blow your head off, man, you never knew it happened. Right? But if you see them coming towards you and nothing you can do about it, all that fear builds up. So now it's a double punishment. Because you're going to die, but now you're going to all that fear just before you do it. Because, in Russia, I'm not had new Russia, but old Russia, if you were sentenced to death, they didn't tell you when. So, they'll come and say, okay, I want you need to go to the cop, you need to go over here, see a doctor. You need to go over here and do this, you need to go do that, right? They come and get you. And then they're going to execute you, right? Okay, I think doctor wants to check you out on something, right? So come. And you think you're going to see a doctor, you calm, you relax, right? And then somebody walk behind you, blow your brains out. You never saw it coming. See? Not like here. You're going to die on the 13th of August. 13th of February. Then you sit there and you hear people dying and getting electrocuted, right? And you know your day is coming, right? And then they set you in there, come bring you down there, you all broken by then. Put you in a chair, trap you and all that stuff. You be scared to death. Same thing with injection. Because these people are ignorant, cruel. These are the cruelest people on the planet. If they don't execute you, just go do it. Even in Saudi Arabia, they don't do that. If they execute you, they say, okay, they don't wait, keep you 10 years waiting to be killed. Can you imagine that? You sit on death row for 5, 6, 7 years waiting to die. You can't see anybody, talk to anybody. Wait, that's 1,000,000 times death sentence. To my cruel, unusual punishment. That's how you do to each other, so you know what they do to you. The way they do in Saudi Arabia, if they're going to cut your head off, you sentence the next day, you die. You'll be sitting there 20 years, sitting in prison, waiting. And what they do is they give you a drink or something that make you feel good, calms you down, everything. You feel good. I don't know if it's opium, whatever they give you. So you ain't upset, you ain't aggravated, nothing. You calm and everything else. And then whoop. But these ignorant, these savages over here, they call themselves savage, civilized. That's why the Bible calls them beasts. They're beasts. But a beast don't know he's a beast. I mean, a dog, he come to you with his bone. He been shitting on it and licking on it and everything else. He giving you his prized bone. Here, he think he's doing you a favor. He's lovingly. He wants you to have his bone, man. That's his prized bone. You don't want that damn bone? Well, some of these devils, they probably lick on it because they lick them in the mouth and screw them and everything else. Remember Hugh Hefner? All those women around him, they're probably beautiful women. They're not beautiful to me, but the so-called bunnies, all these young women around him, he's in there screwing a dog. His office manager, whatever, she walks in the door and he's screwing her dog. So the dog says, she brings, I didn't bring my dog here no more. She probably just mad because he probably was doing her. They're sick. They're sick. There's no two ways about it. Cruel. And now, they want to take you down if you're stupid enough to do it. I'm trying to give you information, brothers and sisters. I'm not trying to convince anybody. Because if you're stupid enough to go down with it, we don't want you anyway. Because you wouldn't make it hereafter anyway. Hereafter, I'm talking about hereafter we get the hell out of here. Okay? And then you got those, It's like someone tells you, hey man, you work for me for a week and I give you $1 billion. Here you come. Okay, can I take off after, can I take off after 5 o'clock? And guys work 9 to 5, and right, and can I take the weekend off? Guys told you if you work for me for a month, I'm gonna give you $1 billion, and you talking that kind of stuff? You should be saying, hey ma, hey pa, hey baby, I ain't gonna see you for a month. I ain't gonna see you for a month. See? Don't call me, don't bother me, I can't be distracted. I'm not gonna go to sleep or anything. See? And you're about to get the reward, the greatest reward in the ever, that's gonna last trillions of years. And you sitting around, maybe doing something sometime, maybe doing something, and doing a little of this and do something, and you think that's gonna work for you? If I was like that, none of this truth would be out here. And the angel tells you that none of those things would happen until Suleiman broke the seals. It tells you. And none of those things did happen until he broke the seals. He broke seals 99, and right away he started a war with Islam. They started the campaign against Islam in 1990 when they went after Iraq. All these events started happening in 1990 after he started. It didn't happen by themselves, but you think it is. And Suleiman been going 24/7, 365, over 30 years, nonstop. I'm tired as hell right now. I'm beat. You know, it was so bad back in January. I couldn't do it. I couldn't move. I couldn't. I just lost it. I burned myself out. Okay? Some people think I was being poisoned. I'm not going into details about that, but I was gone. I was literally gone. Ended up developing a blood clot because I couldn't move. I literally could not move. I could not get up. I couldn't do anything. And now I'm almost feeling like that again in a way. Because ain't nobody come and say, hey man, you wasn't doing anything. No. I've been on the post for 30-some years, constantly. I've been thrown in jail, in prison, everything else. Okay? And I've let none deter me. And I didn't have to do that. See, that's the whole situation. I have to do that for me to make it to so-called promised land. I know where to go. I just go. I know what to do to protect myself. I'm doing it for you. David said he sacrificed for you. And then you want to sit around and scratch your ass and, hey man, what's going on, man? And recite a few verses and, maybe occasional fast or something. You think that's going to work for you? I don't know. I'm just putting information. See, a good coach would tell you, hey man, no, man, you need to run 8 miles a day. You need to run 10 miles a day. Oh man, that's too much. Well, I'm telling you what you need to do in that fight. Now, you can do it or don't do it. I'm telling you what you need to get hereafter. You can do it or don't do it. That's my job. See? Because when you get handed over to Master Muhammad, you don't know what that's all about, do you? You don't know what that's all about, do you? When you get handed over to him, what you think will happen then? And I shouldn't have him come call me up and say, hey, but how can you pay me why you pass me some damaged goods? I ain't having that. But he ain't gonna be as forgiving and informational as I am. He's there to rule. I'm here to give you information, get you home. Whole different category, whole different situation, whole different experience. Anyway, brothers and sisters, I think I said pretty much what I want to say. You got this great reward, and you should be living and breathing the angel. Should be doing. Should be all in. Should be studying it. Should be. I mean, for that reward, what you can't get a reward better than what you're about to get. If you get it, a lot of you don't get it. It says many be called. It says many be called, but only few will be chosen. What's that? Isn't that taking everybody that shows up? Many be called, but only a few be chosen. So, who much be given, much is respected. So if you're giving things, you're giving stuff like, right? What are you giving? What does Allah give you? What were you blessed with? You got some people blessed with a book. Got some people blessed with other things. See, the proof is that I don't have to do this because no one walked up and said, here's the angel. Nobody still said, this is what you got to do. I found it, I got into it, and I started doing what it required because that's what it needs to deliver my people. I could just not ignored it and went on by my business. It wasn't going to affect me. It was affecting you. Because other people been given books. Elijah Muhammad was given information, and he agreed to do it. And he fulfilled his mission. Well, not 100%, but he fulfilled it. I'm satisfied with what he did. I'm not totally happy, but I'm satisfied with what he did. No, because he failed on he failed on the part. But I'm not gonna hold him to it. The scripture said, right? You have one point you have him going to the hereafter, another point you have him know he denied to go because he didn't build the bridge between himself and Joshua or Suleiman. He didn't acknowledge him that he was supposed to. I'm not gonna hold that against him, brothers and sisters. But I'm gonna hold that the Levites against him. I'm gonna hold that against them for where they treat him, where he turned on them. That's why I don't be bothered with him. Too much is given, much expected. Well, like I said, this is a time that this is the greatest time in history, and maybe it's me, maybe I just don't not able to communicate properly what time we are. And if you're given certain things, that's amazing. That's amazing. Elijah Muhammad was chosen out of this. That's amazing. He's gonna be known all through history. And so we all acknowledge that first being. We don't know much about him, but we acknowledge him. We all know it existed. So right now, you got people, all these people right now, a million years ago, they're going to be acknowledging what happened, because we're going to be called the first beings of this cycle. We're going to be called the first beings of this cycle. And says, where's this person? And but many of us, so what that person do? What that person do? Oh man, there was this guy named Master Farad Muhammad, right? He's the one that's laid the foundation, right? There was this high priest, right? He's the one that woke us up and got us home, right? And there was this prophet. Well, he didn't do a damn thing, right? There was a prophet. What about him? I don't know. He didn't do nothing. There was these angels, right? There was the jinn. There was angels. Man, they took out the beast. They gave the beast a death blow. See, that's what they're gonna be talking a million years from now. They're gonna be talking about this. Like we talking about the first God, 72 trillion years later, we're still talking about that first being. And 3 years from now, they're gonna be talking about what happened here, because we laid the foundation for this phase. We actually know the first God's name, Allah. That's what he called himself. That's what it called itself, because it wasn't male or female. It was 360 degrees. And I'm teaching you about him. I'm teaching you about that person, things that you didn't know before. Greatest time in history. That first God, what that first God had to do, that person was there by themselves, by itself. Nobody knows how long that person was in total triple darkness in the center of the earth. Nobody knows, because there was no way to tell time back then. It could have been a million years, it could have been 1 trillion years, it could have been 1,000 years. Nobody knows. by itself. Right? Contemplating the universe. Make all this happen, lay the foundation. Because that person has to do the same thing the Ancient of Days do. He has to lay the foundation of what we're experiencing right now. That individual laid the foundation because he started out. In the beginning was the Word. He laid out. That's pressure. Words of pressure. And that's Suma has to do the same. I mean, Ancient of Days has to do the same thing. I've laid the foundation. Then he gives it to the God. That's why Muhammad. These things to be remembered. Anyway, brother, since I'm gonna leave it there, I didn't mean to go this long. I'm pushing myself much more than I probably. I'm going way beyond. But brothers and sisters, it's hard for me to get out there and tell people, motivate people. There's no excuse. I'm not making any excuse. I'm 73 years old. I'm going 24/7. Not just what you see me doing here. I do a lot of things you don't even worry about. Right? Because the job has to be done. We're trying to save it. Because that's the promise we made to those that wanted to go to the hard class. And we can go all out to get you out of it, to bring you back home. That's the promise we made. Because like we said, well, look, if we all go through this, you want to save us all? Well, we couldn't guarantee we'd save y'all. We couldn't guarantee that. But we know it'd be so bad that some of you would be your own worst enemy. We can't guarantee, because we didn't say we'd force you to go back home. That's what we couldn't guarantee it. If we say we was going to force you to go back home, then we'd guarantee it. We know. We say, we guarantee that everybody that wants to go home, we'll get them home. That was a guarantee that was made. But we ain't trying to ease out of it by saying, well, you didn't want to go because we didn't tell you. You see, we say, oh, no, wait, you didn't go. You didn't want to go. Yeah, but you didn't tell us. So we make sure we telling you, I'm going all out. Nobody can say I'm not giving 100% to tell you. And I'm getting ready to get rid of those demons that's blocking the light. So you'd know. And Elijah Muhammad said in that interview with that Chinese person, he said, you can't go back unless you're Muslim. If you said those Muslims, they stay here for the hell they're going through. The Christians. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Okay. I know I'm not getting this message across as well as I like. Okay. Some people think they got the idea, oh, they got to just believe in Jesus or they eat one meal a day or they make slot and they don't get it. The angel is the key. That's the only thing that's going to give you the mind pressure you need to overcome this and to be successful in the hereafter we're going. Because if your pressure, like I said, again, even there, if your pressure is greater than the pressure around you, you grow. If it's less, you're going to be crushed. If it's equal, then you just be neither one way or the other. And it's about growth. So if you want this person to think, hey man, I go to college to get my degree and that's it. You never pick up another book, never learn anything. That's the idea people have. If you're one of those, you're in trouble. Well, this person think, well, I'm grown, I ain't got no. Okay, well, you're in trouble. Because it's going to be a constant learning, constant studying. I've been studying all my life, 73 years, I'm still studying, I never stop. Anybody look at my presentation, I never stop, I'm always studying. I'm always surprised about things I know that they didn't think I would know. I'm always studying because that's what it's about. That's what success is. Studying. Success is not laying up dead in a coffin. Success is studying. Studying, constant studying, increasing that store power. And the more you do it, if yours is greater than anybody else, that means you're more successful than anybody else. Hope you understand. Assalamu alaikum.